Today, we're going to be talking about hand planes. Okay, so this is a hand plane. This is a Makita one, but all the brands are available. First, let's have a look around the planer and I'll point out a few features. In here, you've got a rubber belt that goes from the motor down to the blades. And the blades unit is, and this isn't plugged in, by the way, before anybody says anything. The blade unit holds two blades in this case. You can get some planers with three blades in, but these Makita ones have two blades in. The blades are changeable. They're basically disposable. You wouldn't have these sharpened, so you'd just take them out and dispose of them and fit a new set. They are normally reversible, so you get one cutting edge and then you can take the blade out, turn it around and put it back in, and you get another cutting edge on the back. So that's a good idea because it makes them last longer. The bed of the plane or the shoe, the front section here is adjustable. You can see this knob on the front here. Now, if you turn it clockwise, it will increase the cut, and if you turn it anti-clockwise, it'll decrease the cut. And here at the back, you've got a sprung-loaded safety device. What that's for is when you finish planing and you put it down on the worktop, it stops the blades touching the surface. So it's a good idea if you're working and you put it down on some concrete or something like that, something abrasive. It saves you destroying your blades. But not only that, if you're working and you put it down on like a kitchen worktop or something, it's not going to take a lump out your worktop. One thing to remember though, make sure you keep that lubricated, because with the dust from the planer, they do sometimes stick up. And the first time you realise it's stuck up is when you put it down and you hear a and then you've got a lump out your workpiece. So just make sure you keep that lubricated. On the base of the planer, you've also got this groove here at the start here on the front section. And what that's for is to put a bevel. I'm going to show you a little bit later on how to do that, but basically takes the corner off your workpiece, puts like a 45 bevel on it if you just want to take the corners off. What else can I tell you? Do chuck loads of sawdust darts. Make sure you're in a well-ventilated area. Make sure you've got some safety glasses on or your wear glasses. And make sure if you're not anywhere where it's going to matter, because they do bags for these, but 2 minutes and they're full. So, I mean, I work in the workshop, so it doesn't matter to me. I just sweep it up. But if you're working in an house, you can use the bag, or you can use an extractor, or just work somewhere like a garage or somewhere else, so you can just sweep it up afterwards, because they do make a lot of mess. The trigger on these is different to a lot of power tools. This little button on a normal power tool would hold the button in, so you put the button in and push that, and it'd keep the machine running for you. Different with a planer. What that is a safety device. If you don't press that button in, you can't press the trigger. The trigger won't work unless you press that in first and then press the trigger, and then it will run. So what that's for is basically so you can't catch your button by accident and catch your fingers. Keep your fingers well clear of these planer blades when you're planing. Don't be tempted to hold your hand under like this while you're planing. Don't be tempted to hold a workpiece while you're planing. Not a good idea. You're going to lose your fingers. Right, what I've done, I'll show you this before we go any further. I use one of these things. This is brilliant. What this is, I don't like vices on benches. It's all right if you've got a proper woodworking bench, but I just don't like vices. Can't stand them. You get in the way, they catch your legs on them. I just don't like them. So I don't use vices myself. I use this. This is a brilliant bit of thing. Just a piece of wood with a V out of it. I put it on the end of the bench. I clamp it like that, with a spin clamp or a G clamp. And basically, when you're planing a piece of wood or you're working on a piece of wood, you can just slide your piece of wood into the V and it holds it, and it's pretty solid. So it's really handy if you're planing. So that's a good tip. Get yourself one of them made. Easy. Bit of scrap, brilliant piece of kit. Okay, so now I'm going to plug the planer in and I'll show you how to use one. Okay, the planer's now plugged in. So one of the big problems with planers as well, I ought to mention, is you tend to catch your cable. This is about the third cable I've had on this planer. So always, when you finish using your planer, unplug it and then just check down your cable and make sure you've not got any nicks out your cable with the planer, because that's something you will probably do, and it's something to be aware of when you're using your planer. just up the cable behind you, something like that, so the cable's going backwards. Don't be tempted to let the cable come round the front of your weight piece like that, because that's when you're going to catch it. So always keep your cable round the back of you and away from your weight piece. When you're using your planer, always try and start with a very shallow setting first. Don't go too heavy at it, because you can always take a bit more off, but you can't put it back on. So normally start with about 1/2 mil or 1 mil on your setting. Keep the planer pressed down and keep your weight on the front of the planer. Don't put your weight on the back of the planer, otherwise you'll find it'll just hit your weight piece like that, and you'll end up with a scoop out the front of your weight piece. So keep your base pressed down firmly on your weight piece. Start your planer up, and when I'm ready to go, I'll just move the planer forward. As I've got to the end of my weight piece, I've transferred my weight from that front to the back, because the back's been cut now, so that I can transfer my weight from the front of the planer to the back of the planer. And what that'll do is stop you dipping at the end and taking a lump out the end of your weight piece. So front as you go in, and then as you get towards the end of your cut, when your front starts coming off the end of your weight piece, put your weight down on the back of your planer, and then that'll keep a nice flat cut, and you'll end up with a lovely cut all the way across your weight piece. Did I ever tell you that time when I had to go at making a boomerang? Didn't work out very well, so I threw it away 4 to 5 times. Moving on. Right, I'm now going to show you how to do 45 using the V on the front of the planer. So I'm going to locate my planer on the weight piece with the cord of the weight piece located in that cutout on the bed of the planer. I'm going to move the planer forward just before the blades touch the weight piece, and I'm going to just get used to it, feeling it there right before I start the planer up. So I'm just going to feel and know that I'm right before I start to attempt this cut. Once I'm happy, I can start the planer up, and I'm going to move forward. And again, as I cut, weight on the front of the planer. As I get to the end, I'm going to transfer my weight to the back of the planer. So let's see how it goes. Okay, so there you can see, that's put a lovely 45 angle on that, and it's very equal all the way down. So that's a lovely cut, that one. So I hope that helps you. If you need any more advice or tips, please post down in the comments. If you like this video, hit that follow or subscribe button and have a look through all my other videos. I'm sure you'll find some more you like. But that's basically a planer. So if you're going to get one, safety first. Always remember to keep your fingers well clear of those blades. But once you get used to using one, it'll just be an irreplaceable piece in your toolbox.